If you're like me, you remember during the presidential campaign when Donald Trump was praised by the media for speaking like a populist, for going out there and talking to the public and saying, listen, I'm going to make things better for you. I'm going to bring your jobs back. I'm going to stop shipping jobs overseas. We're going to make deals. We're going to keep you people healthy and happy and make a great middle class in the United States. Really great populist rhetoric coming from Donald Trump during the campaign. Now, a lot of Donald Trump voters actually believed this. Those of us who understood what Donald Trump was all about didn't believe it for a second. But this week, after Donald Trump's cruel, is the only word you can use to describe it, budget proposal came out, Bernie Sanders came out and absolutely blasted Donald Trump, calling him a fake populist, telling us that we need to understand that there is not a populist bone in this man's body. And to be honest, if all those people in the United States wanted a populist to be president, Bernie Sanders was the guy you should have picked. He was the most populist of anyone that ran for president in 2016 or in the 2015 primary circus, or actually before the primaries. But these people were duped by a con man. And that's what Bernie Sanders is trying to point out. Because like it or not, if Donald Trump is not impeached, he's going to run again in 2020. And to be honest, probably has a pretty good chance of winning at this point because he duped those voters. And that's why Bernie Sanders is going out there. It's not just to attack Trump. It's to open up the public's eyes. You know, a lot of people might see this and say, oh, he's looking for a headline. Well, he's not. This is a teachable moment for these voters to look at this budget and say, hey, Mr. Farmer who voted for Trump, he's cutting farm aid for you, for you. Hey, people who are worried about losing your health insurance, Trump wants to take it away, as do the Republicans in the House of Representatives. Hey, people on food stamps or who rely on after-school programs for your children who voted for Trump, guess what? He wants to cut the funding for those things. The people who are worried about the education their child's getting in public school, they voted for Trump. Well, guess what? Trump's about to make it so much worse by cutting training for teachers, by cutting special education program funding, by cutting scientific and innovative technology training for teachers. He is literally dumbing down America. And that's what Bernie Sanders is trying to tell people. You fell for a phony populist, and it happens sometimes. People get duped. People do get conned. But open your eyes and understand that this is what this man is all about. Donald Trump is no different than any other Republican politician, except for the fact that he's a little more harsh and a little more brazen than most of them. But when it comes down to policy, and this is at the heart of Bernie Sanders' argument here, when it comes down to policy, there is no difference between a Paul Ryan or a Donald Trump or a Mike Pence or a Ted Cruz. They're all the same, because at the end of the day, when they develop a budget, when they write a piece of legislation or sign a piece of legislation, you can bet that it's going to help the wealthy or help corporations and provide absolutely nothing, or even worse, take things away from working class Americans.